Hi everyone! So before I start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Fatina Nabila binti Muhammad Nizam. So for today, I will be sharing my business portfolio where I'm compared to well-known entrepreneur Mark Zuckerberg and Evan Spiegel. Both of them are in the same industry, which is social media. But what's interesting is that they actually use very different strategy to success globally. So in this vlog, I'm going to explain their background, their marketing strategy, their global operations, and also what they personally learned from the comparison. Okay, so first, let's talk a bit about the context. In today's world, businesses are no longer just local. Everything is global, especially for digital companies like Meta and Snapchat. They operate in many countries at the same time, and each country has different culture, laws, and technology. Social media platforms are what we call digital ecosystem. Basically, the more users you have, the more valuable your platform becomes. That's why companies are always trying to grow their user base. At the same time, technology is evolving very fast. Things like artificial intelligence, big data, and augmented reality are changing how people use social media. So companies need to consistently innovate and adapt, or else they will lose their competitive advantage. So now let's look at the two entrepreneurs, starting with Zuckerberg. What's interesting about him is that his main focus is growth and scalability. He didn't just create Facebook and stop there. He expanded into Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger and combined everything in one big ecosystem. Because of this, Meta is able to reach billions of users worldwide. They also use data very effectively, especially for advertising. Businesses can target specific users based on their behavior, which make Meta very powerful in the global market. But at the same time, being so big also comes with challenges. For example, Meta faces a lot of issues related to data privacy, regulation, and even public trust. Now, if we look at Spiegel, his approach is quite different. Instead of trying to be the biggest, he focused more on being unique. Snapchat introduced features like disappearing messages, stories, and augmented reality filters. These features are very popular among younger users, especially Gen Z. So instead of targeting everyone, Snapchat focused on a specific group of users. This makes Snapchat very strong in terms of engagement, but at the same time, it also limits how much the company can grow global. So, from what I found in my research, both entrepreneurs are successful, but they follow very different strategy. Zuckerberg focus more on global skills, efficiency, and using data to dominate the market. But Spiegel focus more on differentiation, creativity, and user experience. So this really showed that they know one's correct strategy in business. It really depends on the company goals and target market. Now let's talk about marketing, which is actually very interesting. For Meta, everything is connected. Their platforms are integrated, so users can easily move between Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. This increases engagement and keep users within their ecosystem. For Snapchat, their focus is more on unique and creative features. Things like filters and AR lessons make apps more interactive and fun. In terms of pricing, both platforms are free to use, but Meta earns much more because their advertising system is very advanced and data-driven. For distribution, Meta is available almost everywhere in the world, while Snapchat is more focused on certain markets like the US and Europe. For promotion, Meta used data to deliver personalized ads, while Snapchat focused more on creativity and influencer content. So overall, Meta used the global strategy, while Snapchat focused more on being different and engaging. Now moving on to global operation, Meta has a very strong global system. They use data center, artificial intelligence, and cloud technologies to support their operation worldwide. This makes them very efficient and scalable. Snapchat, on the other hand, is more flexible and focused on innovations. They don't rely as much on large infrastructure, which make them faster on creating new features and less scalable. Also, global operations are more complex than domestic ones. Companies need to deal with different regulation, culture, and risks, especially things like data privacy. Meta benefits from hiring talents from all over the world, but this also brings risks like ethical issues and security concerns. Snapchat is more controlled internally, which reduces risk but also limits growth opportunity. Personally, I think both of strategy have their strengths and weaknesses. Zuckerberg's strategy is very strong for growth and efficiency, but it also creates more risk, especially in terms of privacy and regulation. Spiegel's strategy is very strong for innovation and engagement, but it limits capability and revenue potential. So I think the key takeaway is the companies need to balance efficiency and innovation depending on your strategy. From doing this assignment, I learned that there is no single best strategy in international business. What really matters is how well the strategy fits the company goals, its capabilities, and the market it is operating in. I also realized that leadership plays a very important role in shaping businesses, discussion, and outcomes. The way Mark Zuckerberg thinks and lead is very different from Evan Spiegel, and this clearly influences how their companies grow and compete globally. At the same time, this assignment has given me a better understanding about Zuckerberg and Spiegel, especially in terms of how they apply different strategies and to success in the same industry. It also helped me see how theory that we learned in class it actually apply in real-world businesses situation. So overall, both of interpretation are successful, but in different ways. Zuckerberg focused more on global skills and efficiency, while Spiegel focused on creativity, innovation, and user experience. And yeah, that's all from me. Thank you for watching and listening. And bye. Thank you so much.